We begin with preparations for Eid-el-Kabir celebrations, where the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has deployed over 28,000 operatives across the country to ensure a peaceful and secure holiday period. NSCDC Commandant General Dr. Ahmed Audi said the large-scale deployment was part of the Corps' ongoing efforts to protect critical national assets and infrastructure, as well as to safeguard lives and property across the nation. He warned of the potential for criminal activities during the festive period and stressed the need to forestall any threats posed by unscrupulous elements. Audi also charged the 36 state commandants and the FCT Command to foster effective synergy and collaboration with other security agencies and local communities. News Central Sagir Ibrahim is now on standby to give us update on how Abuja residents are preparing for the Eid-el-Kabir celebration. Thank you so much for joining us, Sagir Ibrahim. How would you say that the residents of Abuja are preparing for the upcoming celebrations this year? Sagir Ibrahim, are you there?
Job Park here in the FCT. Yes, I am. Blessings, can you hear me?
Please go ahead, yes.
Blessings, I'm here and I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Blessings, thank you so much for having me on the news this afternoon. So I'm currently at the Jabi Motor Park. The Jabi Motor Park is here in the FCT. It's a major motor park that carries passengers to different parts of the country, from the north to the south. Currently, it seems to be bubbling with quite a number of activity because a lot of individuals, travelers are here currently. They intend to travel to the different parts of the country for the Salah festivities. One interesting thing to note about the park is they've demarcated the park sort of to an area where, of course, there's fuel-powered vehicles and another area where the CNG-powered vehicles that was donated by the federal government is parked and also loading passengers. So behind me, if you can see over there, the bus with the NURTW sticker is actually a CNG-powered vehicle that will be traveling to Ilorin today. I spoke with some of the passengers and I also spoke with the driver of the vehicle who had explained to me that it is cheaper actually than the petrol-powered vehicles. They say it costs around 20,000 to 21,000 naira thereabouts to travel to Ilorin via a CNG-powered engine. However, it would cost around 28,000 to around 30,000 naira to travel to the same location if you were to be using, a fuel-powered vehicle. Aside that, of course, passengers seem to be satisfied with the situation as it were. There's not too much complaint about the cost of transportation increasing, as some of them believe that the cost of transportation has actually, remained stable from what it used to be in the past. I spoke with another passenger who is traveling to Minna, Niger State today as well. She confirmed that it used to cost around 8,000 or thereabouts to travel between now and the last 3, 4, 5 months, and the price has remained stable as well. Drivers also alluded to the same fact, although they complain that it's often difficult because of the festive season, to travel to these locations and also get passengers to bring back. Reason because most of them are going home for the celebrations and will be there for a very, very long time. So it's often difficult, and the way they found to balance this and balance, everything around it is adding an additional passenger so they don't, feel the loss so much. So these are, the nuances here at the Jabi Park that we are getting at this moment.
Sagir Ibrahim, are there any passengers at the moment that we can speak with regarding the update?
Yeah, I couldn't get one immediately to join the news. I was trying to get one before I realized that I needed to join to give this live update. But definitely, you're going to be hearing from the passengers in my subsequent report, and of course, hear what they have to say directly from them.
It's been an adjustment to the transport services at the motor park for the festival period.
Blessings, can you come again? I didn't quite catch the question.
Would you say that the transport operators have adjusted their services? And if they have, in what ways have they adjusted their services for the festive period? Are there discounts? Are there movements to certain areas that they usually or typically would not go to for the festive period?
Well, I spoke to some of them, yes, indeed. And the adjustments, of course, that they made, some of them, of course, as drivers that they are, will be on the road this period, even though they are Muslims and they ought to be at home with their families. Aside that, they complained, of course, like I mentioned earlier, that the cost is something that is also a thing of concern to them. And reason being that, not that the passengers cannot afford it, but they who are the drivers who will be driving to these locations, which they do not reside, some of these drivers particularly, would have to come back with empty vehicles because they may not get passengers, to return back to their locations. So they are saying the way they've managed to balance this is to add additional passengers instead of adding additional cost, so that way it's easier to bear among all of them. For those traveling to areas that may be bedeviled with security, of course, they complain that security continues to be the issue of the day, calling on the government to do more to ensure that there are security checkpoints, in and around this environment, so it becomes a little bit more safe for them to access, these areas. Others have also complained about the state of the road going to different parts of the country. They mentioned certain areas that the roads may not be too palatable, especially for their vehicles, and how they've continually spent a lot of money managing, maintaining, and repairing these vehicles in order to keep them fit to continue to work with and travel with. So these are some of the things that the drivers particularly have spoken about, and are hopeful, will improve and continue to balance up in the coming days, months, and even years.
Okay, so, we understand that as the festivals are around the corner, so are the holidays. So are there any special events or cultural activities planned by the Abuja residents to mark the Eid-el-Kabir?
Usually in Abuja, it's quiet. We've not heard of any developments pertaining to any festivities or any events that will be popping up, in and around the city center. But we usually know that during times like this, Emirates would usually have durbars to celebrate, the festive season, where we'd see cultural displays and the likes of that. But we keep our ears peeled. We definitely keep our eyes open as well. If there's any of these developments, we surely will be bringing them to our viewers to see and also enjoy. Back to you in the studio.
Ibrahim, thank you so much for the updates on the festivities, and definitely, like you said, we will be updating our viewers on the development as it unfolds.